Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
You know, when they decide to run something back, you just have to hope that the thing they're running back is a classic. And if you're within the sound of my voice, that must mean you're in the seats with once more. As always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast where we sit down with a wide-ranging variety of industry professionals and we pick their brain about current projects, state of the industry, how they got started, and so very much more in a light and in a conversational fashion. And if you like how we do things around here, I'm going to assume that you do, because you're listening right now. You can subscribe to the podcast. Give us that old subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Give us the 5-star rating. Basically, wherever you get your podcasts. We're over at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, pretty much all providers. And plus, we archive every single one of our episodes over at our In the Seats YouTube channel. So if you can give us a like and subscribe there as well, we would absolutely appreciate it. Also, don't hesitate to check us out on social media. We're on the Facebook, we're on the Twitter, and we're on the Instagram at, you guessed it, we're at In the Seats for all sorts of fun updates. And finally, and I do dare say most importantly, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca, for all the latest and greatest from the world of film, television, basically the moving image at large. Because if we love to write about it and talk about it, we love it when you come by and read about it and listen about it. So please pay us a visit. On this episode, we got a fun one. We're running it back. It's a reboot of a classic, as it were. It started on Paramount Plus today or yesterday, as it were. Yo MTV Raps is back. The iconic hip-hop music and culture show, which I know I used to love watching, and so many other people did too, is returning in a new form exclusively on the service. And it's it's really an interesting one because it goes goes deep into the current state of hip hop and the culture, and also throws it back too and acknowledges its roots. And it's a fantastic piece of work. And I mean, if you love your rap music, if you love your hip hop, do sign up for Paramount Plus and check out Yo MTV Raps, because you're not going to be disappointed. And it's hosted by renowned battle rapper Conceited and the celebrated DJ, Miss DJ Diamond Cuts, and they do a fantastic job. They're great together, and the show is great. It's a nice chunky little half hour, which you can enjoy, and they've got some fantastic guests. And I mean, the first one, it's the one and only Freddie Gibbs from I believe the Midwest, Gary, Indiana, if I do believe so correctly. But he's tearing up the charts and doing great things in the community as well. But if you love your rap music, like I said, get on the Paramount Plus and watch Yo MTV Raps, because again, it's old school, it's new school, it's everything about the culture. And I mean, they do a real good job with sort of putting it together and presenting it for the modern audience, and I cannot wait to see more. But like I said, check out Yo MTV Raps on Paramount Plus. But first, enjoy our talk with Conceited and DJ Diamond Cuts, who we had the fantastic chance of talking to about hosting the show and so very much more. So enjoy our talk with them, because between you and me, it's a good one.
All right. Well, Conceited, Diamond Cuts, obviously, thank you so much for the time today. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Now, I mean, first off, I mean, I will admit I was a fan of the show back in the day, and then I got the press release. I mean, oh, it's coming back, and now I saw the show, and I mean, it's fantastic. You guys did such a great job. I guess my first question for both of you is, like, walk me through, I guess, your initial reaction of finding out the show's coming back, and then maybe sort of your reaction on being a part of it.
Okay, so this is crazy because it's wild how things just work full circle. So I've been on MTV, in the MTV family, on Wildin' Out, on it's a hip hop comedy show. It's like 2013, which was also a reboot as well. They had it in 2000. It came off the air in 2005, came back in 2013, right? And as I was there, I was like, let me wait a couple of years before I start making some opinions. So I wait. I'm like, we have to bring Yo MTV Raps back. That was the best. We have to bring it back. We have to bring it back. They're like, maybe it wasn't timely at that time. So they just put me on the back on the back burner. Then one day, behold, I get a call. We're bringing Yo MTV Raps back, and we want you to be the host. I'm going crazy. I'm like, what? I'm like, so not only are you bringing back the show that I love and I've been campaigning for, you chose me to be the host, and it was just a surreal moment, and it still is. I'm not gonna really understand it and really be like, oh, okay, I got it until May 24th hits and I'm on Paramount Plus watching it. I'm like, wow. Then it's real.
Nice. Diamond, how about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, when they reached out to me, man, I was super excited. And then when I found out it was Conceited, I'm like, oh snap, this is a real thing that's about to happen. So when when me and Conceited linked up for the first time, it was like magic. It was like it wasn't like we were meeting for the first time. It felt like we've known each other for a very, very long time, and it felt right and it felt good. So to be a part of such an iconic show, me being a DJ and knowing about all these iconic moments and iconic TV shows that happened in hip hop history, it was amazing to be a part of it, and to be with Conceited is just amazing in itself. So yeah, it was the best. It was perfect.
I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, Conceited, there's something that you brought up. I mean, even sort of the first line as you're kicking off the show, acknowledging that you're both East Coast and there was the West Coast, and sort of, but then bringing in Freddie, who is Midwest, and
Right.
just sort of acknowledging the fact that I guess maybe the public perception, especially from old nerdy white guys like myself, that sort of hip hop is more than just East Coast, West Coast now, How important was it for you guys to sort of have a guest like that and sort of bridge the gap and make audiences understand that hip hop truly is everywhere now?
I mean, it was good, and it just basically shows how much hip hop has evolved. Because I mean, not only is there East, West, North, South, United States, we even spotlight international artists. I mean, they have people from China, people from France, people from Africa. You know what I mean? And hip hop is so big now that it has subgenres. I mean, you have drill rap, you have emo rap, you have the backpack rap, you have battle rap, just so many different elements in it. And but it was good to have somebody like Freddie Gibbs, who wears the Midwest so proud, Gary, Indiana, to be exact. But when we say that is East and West, and we don't realize one of the biggest artists of all time, is from the Midwest, Chicago, Kanye West.
Yeah.
So I mean, so the Midwest, not only are they just there, they are there. You know what I mean? They made a very, very, very big staple.
No, for sure. And I mean, I'm in Toronto, so I mean, as much as I love Drake, man, I grew up, wearing my Main Source record out just over and over again. I mean, I love those guys. But I mean, I'm kind of curious. I mean, Diamond, just to sort of expand on that, I love something that Freddie said, because he is someone who's known for having a lot of beefs. But it seems that the beef has evolved to just staying on the track, whereas before it would go past that. Like, how important was it for you to sort of show that to audiences that, like, it's in the moment, if you're battling, if you're up there on stage, sometimes it's okay to talk shit, but just keep it there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's always been important within hip hop, and sometimes artists don't take heed in that, and they take it off the record, and they go out in the streets and they start beefing and battling with each other. But that's super important for hip hop, because we love hip hop. We want our hip hop artists to remain where they are. We want them to keep being great, and we want them to make that transition and be the bigger person. Like, okay, keep your beefs on record. You know what I mean? Don't take it out in the streets. Don't hurt anybody out here. So that's definitely important to keep showcasing. And that was another thing that I love about Yo MTV Raps, is we didn't really showcase a lot of the drama and all of the gossip and everything that goes on, the nonsense of hip hop. We actually kept it true to hip hop, to the hip hop culture, where we talk about just straight skills, and we go into the culture and the lifestyle of hip hop. So that was one thing that I love about it. It was like a no BS show. Like, we're not talking about any of the other dramas and all of the other trials and tribulations you got going on in your life out in the streets. We talking about the music.
Except for when we got Freddie from Freddie Gibbs, because he can't stay out of trouble.
Can't stay out of trouble. Yeah, Freddie can't stay out of trouble, but he did a good job with just
he's the exception.
He's the exception, the only exception. But yeah.
Right.
No, but I mean, I love also that the show isn't afraid to sort of acknowledge history and go into the into sort of those deep cuts, particularly with just sort of with the evolution of Latin music and hip hop, but also just acknowledging history and Cool Herc and sort of that, iconic party back in the day. How important was it for you both to sort of be a part of something that sort of acknowledges the past but looks to the future at the same time?
I mean, that's one of the most important because, I mean, there is no future without the past. I mean, there wouldn't be no hip hop today without the hip hop yesterday. You know what I mean? So if that party didn't happen, there would be no Young MTV Raps. There would be no Young MTV Raps reboot. She wouldn't be a hip hop DJ. I wouldn't be a hip hop battle rapper, a hip hop host. So I mean, it's very, very important, and to be connected and basically to have a part and to be able to teach people about history that's that important, of that, like the birthplace of hip hop. That's super important, because I mean, you would never know where you're going if you don't know where you came from. So
how important is it for you both? Just because, I mean, like we've said before, hip hop has taken such an evolution, and not just in the culture, but I mean the music as well. I mean, Diamond, you're spinning at NFL games. You've spun for Obama. Being a battle rapper, I've got to imagine it's one of those things that almost sort of prepares you for the entertainment world. How important is it for you both to show how, I guess, maybe diverse and sort of embedded the culture is? Because I mean, even like maybe 10, 20 years ago, you couldn't have imagined sort of spinning records for the president, or sort of be a battle rapper being a host of a TV show on a major streamer kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's super important, it's for me, especially because I'm a female, I'm a woman DJing, and there's never been a Yo MTV Raps DJ or female DJ or host. So that in itself is important. That shows the evolution, because back then, there wasn't a lot of female rappers. There wasn't a lot of female DJs. There were like a select few. So now you have so many different rappers and DJs, and to be the one to kind of showcase my skills on such a legendary show, I mean, that in itself shows the evolution right there.
Now I got to ask you both. I mean, this is a silly question, but can you think back and can you boil it down to maybe one record that got you into the business in a professional sort of level that made you go, you know what, I want to do this?
Oh, that made me want to. Well, since I battle rap, it wasn't a record that made me get into battle rap. It was a rap battle. But I would say one record that I know when I was younger that I had on repeat 24/7 was RP to DMX, the Rough Riders Anthem. It was one of the records for me that just like, I love it. And I mean, I was listening to rap prior to Big, to Pop. I mean, Bone Thugs from the Midwest, and they're my favorite group. But the Rough Riders Anthem was the one that I just learned every word for word, kept listening, rewind, going back. Okay, all right, okay, going back, boom, boom. Like, so that was definitely.
Oh man, I'm a DJ, and it's not like a political answer. Nothing. I can't pick one record. I literally cannot pick one. I have so many favorite records. I can't pick one record. I really can't. It's just, I just love, and I love all music outside of hip hop. I love R&B music. I love, country music. I love a lot, gospel music. I can't, it's impossible for me to pick one record, and I'm not going to do it.
Oh, fair enough. Well, it's after the DJ. No, absolutely. But I mean, I'm curious, as we're getting closer to the 24th, and it's going to be out there in the world, what are you hoping sort of the reaction is? Because at least for me, in getting to watch this, it reminded me of not just the power of the culture, but at the end of the day, the power of the music as well. And I'm kind of curious from both your perspectives on that.
Say it again?
Like, what do you hope people pull away from the show sort of once the 24th hits? Because for me, it was not just about the power of the music, but the power of the culture as well.
Oh, yeah. So basically we want people to know, which they will, that this show is basically your one-stop shop for it all. It's like a big buffet table of everything hip hop. So like, you just come grab a plate. You're gonna learn things about these artists that you probably didn't know, because we dive in deep, and and you may become more of a fan, which is what happened to me. I interviewed T Grizzly, found out he's a very big gamer. What game he played? Grand Theft Auto. wow. So now I see that we got a common ground to to stand on. Just made me like him more because now I'm more relatable to him. Well, he's more relatable to me. I mean, I can relate to a lot of things with him now. I find out he has his own server. And we also teach hip hop history lessons because I go to places like, 1520 Cedric Ave in the Bronx, where that apartment building where the first hip hop party ever was started. So, I mean, we want people, to basically leave with some type of hip hop knowledge to pay homage to the, to the past, and also to just look forward to what the future has.
No, I mean, I got to ask, because this is the one thing I was a little fuzzy on. I didn't know what a cipher was. And I mean, and just seeing the artists that you had there, I mean, I love that. Like, can you explain sort of in layman's terms why you had that segment and what it was? Because I loved it.
I mean, for ciphers, I know Karen got a lot to say about this too. Ciphers is a part of hip hop. You know what I mean? A group of people getting together and just going bar for bar. Like that's something that's just a part of rap. It's just a part of hip hop. It's a part of the culture. So like I said before, everything, regarding hip hop culture, you'll definitely get that fixed in this show. So that's definitely something I feel like is needed. And aside from that, we also got the dance ciphers too, where dancers are like battling it out, doing cool dance moves and things
Fantastic.
like that. Yeah, so all of that is a part of hip hop. So why wouldn't it be right here on a new revamp Yo MTV Raps? Like it had to be.
Fantastic, man. I mean, I never knew, but I mean, I guess that's the writer's room. I guess that's where you work out stuff. It's great stuff. And just thank you. You know what? Congrats on the show. And thank you so much for the time today. I mean, I'm really looking forward to future episodes, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you so much for having us.
And don't forget to visit our friends over at Bay Street Video for all your DVD, Blu-ray rental, or purchasing needs this summer, as they are still open for curbside and some mailing delivery as well. Over at 1172 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, you can give them a call at 416-964-9088. That's 416-964-9088. Or send them an email at baystreetvideoto@gmail.com for any of your DVD and Blu-ray needs.